it's difficult to get everybody on TV every week. And the fact that you have such a huge roster like that, if you're only on there, a few weeks, and then you have to sit out so someone else can get a few weeks in, before you know it, it's been 6 or 9 weeks, and you got to start all over again.
Carl wants to know, Arn, are you on a WWE Legends contract?
No, sir. I have not been on one of those probably in 6 years.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, probably
Yeah.
about 6 years.
There you go. Shannon says, happy birthday from your Morgantown friend. And she wants to know, Arn, do you think AEW has gotten too far away from the originals? I think it was good when it was just a few WWE people to get eyes on the product. So do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, it's, as in debt as I am to everything that AEW has accomplished. Tony has really, given the world, the wrestling world, a second option, and I think we're all in debt to him, or should be, for that. Um, it's a huge roster, and I don't know how many people are on it. You could probably just Google it and find out how many's on there, and it's difficult to get everybody on TV every week. And the fact that you have such a huge roster like that, if you're only on there, a few weeks, and then you have to sit out so someone else can get a few weeks in, before you know it, it's been 6 or 9 weeks, and you got to start all over again. It's a blessing that Tony's in business. Thank God for him. And, but I think that there may be just a few too many folks to try to fit in there. And I think everybody suffers from that. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just one thing I do know about this business. You have to be on TV every week, and you have to build momentum, and it needs to be good TV, promos, good opponents. You need to be winning, and you need to be talking about winning and where your career's heading, so that people can figure out how they feel about you. I don't think that'll ever change.
Well said, Arn. We're going to move to Pez next. And he said, I used to go to the Philadelphia Civic Center back in the 80s. Oh, what a time. And always wondered what Arn thought about the Philly fans cheering for the heels back in those days.
Well, I gave up on trying to turn them. I just went with it. It was a heel town, and you just went out and you had a move set, and you went out and you just did what you did and let the chips fall where they may. If they cheered for you, they did. If they booed you, they did. I know one thing, it's a violent city. They like their athletes, and they like them tough in Philadelphia. And I don't think, other than just completely changing your style, which they would have seen through that and shit all over it, you just went up there and just, hey, gave them a hell of a fight, gave them their money's worth, and that's what it was.
Albert jumps in and says, hey, as Double A used to say, remember, Bromwell, the privilege was all yours. That should be how we close the show every week. We do this.
Well, you're jumping ahead, aren't you?
No, I'm saying you should close the show from now on and always say, remember, Bromwell, as I wrap up the show, the privilege was all yours for just being able to host this with you every other week. I think that's a great tagline for you as we close these shows.
We can do that.
I think that's a good one. And Albert, thanks for bringing that to my attention. I like that. And thank you again. The checkbook continues to be open. Darren Staley, you are something else. I should not even do this without you giving more money. Okay, so I'm going to bring it back to your attention. Darren Staley, Arm, was the guy that had the whole nipple conversation with you. The nipples, remember that?
Yes.
Okay, so that helps set the table for what I'm about to put on the screen. He's a knucklehead. He's a goofball. He likes to be funny. Okay, so here we go. Here's Darren Staley. Did Arn or other wrestlers have issues with groin chafing with the tights? Was there some lotion regimen? And did Arn ever have a ball slip? What?
I think he's meaning, did my nizuts fall out of my tizites?
Did your nizuts? He
Not,
is.
not to my knowledge.
There was the old Tommy Young where he had to slide Nikita's back into the sling. You remember?
Yeah, yes, I remember that story. He had to tuck him up, didn't he?
He had to tuck him up. Oh man.
Well, Tommy's a professional. He didn't have to wait to be told.
He
In
was
those
definitely
days,
hands-on back in those days.
you couldn't still be up there scuffling with all your junk hanging out.
So I'm there. You go. No lotion regimen though for the boys.
Well, God bless him, because we just lost him, but I'll go ahead and throw him out there. Kevin Sullivan's thighs were so big from powerlifting, he used to chafe all the time. Remember how big his legs were?
Oh yeah. Oh,
thick. Really big and muscular,
yeah.
And he would chafe. I would see him putting like lotion, on his legs and stuff.
What are we doing? I love this.
Well, it's just there's chafing.
There is. It happens, and it happens in wrestling, and this is a serious topic that I'm surprised hasn't come up before. So I'm glad we were able to address it, and I thank you, Darren, for bringing it up. All right, what else? Let's keep going here. Chris Bradshaw, we reels it back in. Arn, do you have any fond memories of Richmond, Virginia, and the Coliseum? It's been boarded up for years now, and sad to see such a memorable building become a shell of itself.
How could the leaders, and we did a signing there in Richmond about 6 months ago, and I was talking to some of the local people that, just like at the hotel and at the YMCA I went, and, different places around town, restaurants, the weekend that we're there. And I could not for the life of me, nor could they, figure out why you would take a building that nice and that atmosphere that you had in that arena and board it up with no B plan.
Yeah.
Where to replace it with? I asked them, what do you replace it with? They said nothing. So can you imagine how many concerts, sporting events, and all this revenue that they lost? Who made that call on their city planners or whatever they would be, city commissioners? Sure. It's just stupid. Now, if you're going to flatten it and put a high-tech something in there, it's going to create a bunch of jobs. Great. But to just board it up and let it sit there, that's criminal. It's criminal.
Yeah. Arn, Amy Vaughn wants to share that was our secret about the whole Target thing, and now it's public knowledge. So,
well, I felt so guilty, Amy, because driving that way two hours each way, that's not just some hop, skip, and jump.
Well, and now I feel bad for you wherever you live. What, Murray, Kentucky? I think that you're in that area. No Target? Like, what's going on down there? I know they have a McDonald's because I know a goofball that works there, but no Target. Wow.
I think McDonald's and Target are two different things.
They are, but I'm just saying, it doesn't seem like if they don't have a Target in that area, my goodness.